Hey guys, welcome to Fuzz Buzz. Today we've got a video. I'm doing rejetting of my carbs, Yamaha V 650, rejetting the carbs and adjusting the needle. Now, the purpose of why I am doing this is I bought a pod filter kit from Jono's Custom Cruises from Australia. I live in Turkey, so when I was out in Australia I picked up a kit, and here are all the little pieces: pilot jet, main jets, the filters, the uni filters, and obviously you need to change the pilot jets and the main jets and adjust the needle. Now, first of all, I just want to say I am a total amateur, total amateur. I'll admit it. So this is the first time I'm attempting anything like this. Just want to get that straight. And as I said, this is a Yamaha V 650 rejetting of the carbs, carb rejetting. And so yeah, let's hope God is on my side and we can get this done. Luckily for me, Jono, my buddy down there, has included a guide, an instruction guide, because otherwise I would be shot. The pilot jets are 27.5 and the main jets are 130 that he recommends we use with this kit. So I took the carburetor off, and the carburetor is sitting in front of me. And now I am going to attempt to get these bits and pieces on there, so you guys can come along or watch along as Fuzz Buzz attempts first. So first thing maybe what we need to do is get rid of the wires just out of the way, and obviously you don't forget which way you took them out from. That will make your life a hell of a lot easier when you're putting it back together. Okay, so the wire harness should just slide out like that, I'm hoping. Yep, there you go, wire harness is out of the way, brilliant. So on this side is all clear. Let's start from the jet side. So this side is where all your jets are at, and I'm assuming somebody has already bleeded it. So I already sort of loosened the screws, so they are at times a little bit difficult. So you've got 8 screws here. They all need to come out, 4 and 4. And they reckon you should do them one at a time, so that's what I'm going to do. So that's what it looks like on the inside. Looks nice and clean from here. So now the pilot jet is on the inside of this big one. So that's going to come out first. So let's just put that aside there, and this is the pilot jet that good old Jono has given us. And it says not to over tighten it. That's it. And then the main jet is just here. I assume this is going to come off. Okay, so the main jet was a bit of a hassle to get off, but it's off. Now, there it is there, got it off. I'm going to put the new one on. That's it. Now, I'll just give it a quick clean with a bit of carb cleaner around the edges. So they're all good to go. Now we put it back together. Jono has included some new hex Allen key bolts to go into these holes. I assume that's what they're for. Now we just give them all a little bit of a tighten. Now comes to the actual tricky part, or from the videos, because I've watched a few videos and my god, I dare say this is going to test me. This side will test me for sure, I think anyway. So we're going to do this one side at a time, because they keep recommending you do one side at a time, and that's what we are going to do. Okay, so now for the needle side, and from the videos I've watched, this definitely looks like the more difficult side, or at least looks like it for me. So okay, so there's a spring. Spring's got to come out. There's a little white tuck, like a cover screw, plastic. I'm just trying to get that out now with minimal damage. That's it there. It just screws on to cover this thing. And then they said we got to remove this without putting any holes in it, obviously. Got like a built-in O-ring around the edges that goes into the groove, and then if you just wiggle it out, it's going to come out, which it has right now. There you go, there it is right there. Now obviously you don't want to forget which way it came out. There's a needle in there, and it comes out like that. And that, my friend, is the needle. Now the needle's out. This was just going on the top. Okay, so after looking at the this instruction book or guide, now took me a while to figure it out. I'm still trying to figure it out actually. It says on the instruction, if the needle has 3 notches, move the E-clip down to the lowest notch and do not use the shims. So if you're having a look there, I've got 3 notches only on my needle, so I'm assuming this is what he means. And I put the E-clip on the 3rd notch, and do not use the shims, he says. So I assume that is it. Okay guys, so once you put the E-clip on the 3rd notch, this spacer thing needs to come from the bottom end, and you push it right up until the E-clip, and then this thing here goes on like that, just like that, and it goes back in the hole. And there is a little groove on the end there, as you can see. There's a little hole for that, so make sure you line that up as well. You can find it by, once you put it in there, you just twist the needle and it sits in the hole, and you can't twist the needle no more because it's sitting in the hole there. And then your spring goes on the top. Oops, I'm not going to put the spring in there, so I should use my little pliers. Take 2. Okay, so it's all back in there now, and then the cover goes back on, and Bob's me uncle. Put that back on there snug. Okay. And diaphragm, I mean, it's got a little notch there, so you can't really put it on wrong. I hope not anyway. Knowing me, I'll probably put it on wrong now. Just line up the needle, make sure the needle's going into its spot nicely. That's lined up all nicely now. As you can see, needle's going in the other end, that's what you want. And then make sure the seal of this diaphragm is sitting flush into its groove. It's got a grooved area, no parts sticking out, which is cool. Perfect. So the spring also, remember, we're going to cut it so it gives us better throttle response time. So we're looking at it, here we go. So 1, 2, which is about there. So 2 coils I'm cutting off. Perfect. So that goes in there, so make sure that's tight. Okay, so there you go. The needles have been adjusted for the pod kit. The main jets, the pilot jets, we changed. And also it says on there we need to turn these PMS screws all the way in and then turn them out later 2.5 or 2.75 turns. So we turn them all the way in. There you go, 1, 2. So there you go. Now, this bad boy is ready to get on the bike. Don't forget your wire harness, or the wires, the connectors. You need to connect all them back up. And yeah, hope you've enjoyed the video. Stay tuned, give me a like, give me a thumbs up, ask questions. And yes, I am an amateur. You can criticize me, you can give me a few pointers if you like, leave some comments. I'm happy to take them all on board. As I said, this is the first time I actually held a carburetor in my hand, and took a while, a few hours. I mean, I'm sure experts would have done that in about 20 minutes, but it's all done. Now we've got to get the back on the bike and fire up, and let's see how it goes. You've been buzzed by the fuzz.